Hello and welcome to Saint-Tropez in the south of France and the launch of the new Moto Guzzi California. It's pretty appropriate we're here really. This place was put on the map back in the 70s by the likes of Brigitte Bardot. The original California was launched in 1970. Since then they've sold over 100,000 other things. It's pretty much kept Moto Guzzi in business over the years. Now we've got an all new bike. Moto Guzzi's design team have done a great job in bringing the California image up to date. They've created a completely new bike that has a real look and feel of the old California models. This bike is called the California Touring. It comes with the traditional screen and panniers. There's also a naked California custom model with the same engine and most other parts. Despite the familiar styling, the California Touring is a completely new bike, from its uniquely shaped headlight, which has integral LED running lights, all the way back to the fat 200 section rear tyre. There are lots of neat details, including the Guzzi Eagle logo on the petrol tank, and the shape of the seat with its rails at the back, and the finely spoked cast wheels. The key feature of course is the engine, which in Guzzi tradition is an air-cooled V-twin with cylinders set across the bike. There's also a real feel of quality about the engine, especially the polished aluminium cylinder heads which stick out from beneath the petrol tank. Here we are at the start of the launch ride at a fancy hotel on the front in Cannes, just up the road from Saint-Tropez. And as soon as you set off, the bike feels very easy to ride. It's a big bike. It's 700 pounds, 320 kilograms, ready to ride, but it's very low. The engine's very flexible, and fuel injection's very good, so it's actually very easy to ride. A low seat makes it manoeuvrable. The engine capacity is 1380cc, which means it's the biggest motor Moto Guzzi has ever built, and the aim for the increase is not more top-end power but more torque at low revs. So the maximum is 96 horsepower. It's actually 6 horsepower less than Guzzi's old V-twin engine, but the maximum torque figure is 15% higher, and it's produced at below 3000 rpm. The new tubular steel frame uses a system of rubber mounts and 3 rocker arms to reduce vibration. At idle you can see and feel the engine jiggling about. Then as the revs rise, the engine smooths out to give the bike a pleasantly long-legged character. There are actually 3 riding modes, which Guzzi have called Veloce, Turismo and Pioggia, which means fast, touring and rain. And you can adjust them all very easily with the press of the starter button. And in the middle, Turismo mode, for just normal urban riding, it's just a very gentle delivery. And even when you put it into fast mode, it's still by no means aggressive, and the bike just plods along and pulls very easily. Here we are going along the front at Cannes, and it's just a really nice place to be. The big saddle of the California. You sit very upright, holding the bars. There's a nice chrome-rimmed instrument panel in front, and the screen. The bike's quite quiet, in a way slightly disappointingly quiet from the exhaust. Just a bit of rustling in front of your knees, but it's all very relaxed. A very nice place to be. When we got to some twisty roads on the coast near Fréjus, the bike was very easy to flick around for such a big heavy machine. It really does steer very well, the California. Very light steering, very neutral, very accurate, and you can actually have really good fun in the corners, although there is a limitation in the ground clearance because it's got nice big footboards which keep your feet comfortable, but you don't have to lean over all that far before they start scraping. One aspect of the chassis that's particularly impressive is braking. Got plenty of power from big discs up front and radial Brembo calipers, another disc at the back, and there's a very good ABS system as well. I was a little bit surprised there's no link system, which Moto Guzzi actually pioneered decades ago back in the 70s with the California and other bikes. But for such a big heavy bike it stops very hard. After lunch we headed back along the harbour at Saint-Tropez, back towards Cannes via the faster road that meant we could give the California engine a good workout. The outstanding thing really is the broad torque spread, which means you don't have to rev the Guzzi hard, hardly have to use the 6-speed gearbox. Just basically once it's in top gear you can open the throttle and it'll pull away very happily even from 2000 rpm. pretty good acceleration, and just a very nice, long-legged, relaxed feel to it. The wind protection is pretty reasonable as well. I'm tall, so I was looking over the screen. Some people would probably have to look through the screen, which is not ideal. It's a shame because you didn't manage to give it a bit of adjustability, or even that it can't be quickly removed as some Harley-Davidson screens can. But the California should be a pretty practical long-distance bike. Guzzi say the motor is between 15 and 20% more fuel efficient than the existing V-twin engine, and according to the instrument panel it was reasonably economical. The tank's only 20.5 litres, so not enormous, but should be a reasonable range. The seat seemed comfortable, although we didn't ride too far. I'd need to ride further to be sure about that. The pillion gets a good chromed rail to hold on to, and is pretty well taken care of as well. In other respects, it's a pretty practical bike. The panniers open easily and have a fair bit of capacity, although you're not going to get a full face helmet in there, so anybody who wants to store one of those is going to have to get an accessory top box. And there are plenty of other accessories as well: alternative grips, handlebars, levers, different seats, even the pillion footboards you can get, and various chrome bits. And it's all basically an indication of how much time and trouble Guzzi have taken to make this California as good as they could. And you have to say the effort has been worthwhile. It's a very stylish bike. It's generally the best bike Guzzi has built for a long, long time, and it's just a really big and important step in the right direction. One that proves that Moto Guzzi can make a really top quality motorbike.